The own goal that cost a life. The Andrés Escobar story. Football is a game of seconds. 1 second too early, 1 second too late, and everything changes. On June 22, 1994, 1 second changed a man's life forever. It was a simple touch. A defender trying to block a cross. The kind of moment we see every weekend. But this time, the ball spun backward, into the wrong net. 12 days later, the defender, Andrés Escobar, was dead. Shot 6 times at the age of just 27. This is not just the story of an own goal. This is the story of a man who stood for fairness, dignity, and the game he loved. Who was Andrés Escobar? Born in Medellín in 1967, Andrés Escobar didn't fit the image of a superstar. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't loud. He didn't dive or provoke or chase headlines. He studied architecture. He was soft-spoken. Thoughtful. People called him El Caballero del Fútbol, the gentleman of football. On the pitch, he played with elegance. Off the pitch, he lived with humility. He spent most of his club career at Atlético Nacional, the pride of Medellín, and became a cornerstone of the Colombian national team. He didn't chase glory, but glory seemed to find him. Colombia's golden generation. The early 1990s were a turning point for Colombian football. A new generation was rising. Carlos Valderrama, Freddy Rincón, Faustino Asprilla, and at the heart of it all, Andrés Escobar. The team played with flair, with heart, and with belief. On September 5, 1993, Colombia did the unthinkable. They beat Argentina 5-0 in Buenos Aires. That result sent shockwaves across the football world. Colombia went unbeaten through qualifying and arrived at the 1994 World Cup not just as dark horses, but as genuine contenders. Even Pelé predicted they could win it all. The weight of a nation. Expectations were sky high, but so was the pressure. For many Colombian players, football wasn't just a game. It was identity. It was pride. It was escape. And with expectations came fear of failure. Escobar, ever composed, tried to keep the team grounded. He believed in playing with integrity, no matter the stakes. He entered the tournament calm, hopeful, and ready to carry his country. USA 94 begins, and trouble follows. Colombia was placed in Group A with the USA, Romania, and Switzerland. Their first game was against Romania. The result, a 3-1 loss. Sudden. Shocking. The team looked nervous. Misplaced passes. Shaky defense. The joy that defined them was missing. After that defeat, they had just one option left: beat the host nation, the United States, or face elimination. All eyes turned to Pasadena, California. The Rose Bowl Stadium. June 22, 1994. The own goal. The game began with urgency. In the 34th minute, the USA attacked down the left wing. A sharp cross was played low into the box. Andrés Escobar tracked back, as always. Calm. Focused. He stretched out his leg to intercept, a routine move. But the ball caught the outside of his boot, spun awkwardly, and rolled into the bottom corner of his own goal. 1-0 to the USA. Celebration, but not from the Colombians. Escobar stood still. No hands on his face. No dramatic reaction. Just a pause, like he was absorbing it all at once. Colombia would lose 2-1. They were out of the World Cup. Back home. The calm after the storm. The players flew home with heavy hearts. The dream was over. The team that once beat Argentina 5-0 had been knocked out in the group stage. Fans were frustrated. Critics were ruthless. But Escobar never disappeared. Days later, he wrote an article for a Colombian newspaper. It was titled, "Life Doesn't End Here." He apologized for the result, took responsibility, and urged the country to stay united, to learn, grow, and move forward. "Let's maintain respect," he wrote. "It's only a game." That was who he was. Honest. Gracious. Even when the world seemed to be against him. The final night, July 1, 1994. On July 1, just 12 days after the match, Andrés Escobar went out for a quiet dinner in Medellín. Friends say he was in good spirits. Relaxed. Happy to be home. Later that night, outside a nightclub, a brief argument broke out with a small group of men. Details remain unclear. But in that moment, everything turned. One man pulled a gun. He shot Escobar 6 times. The man who had once been Colombia's most dependable defender was gone. Andrés Escobar was 27 years old. The man behind the mistake. In football, own goals happen. Players move on. Fans forget. But what happened to Andrés Escobar should never happen to anyone. He played with grace, spoke with honesty, and carried a nation with dignity. His final words to the world were, "Life doesn't end here." And in many ways, for Andrés Escobar, it never did. If you enjoyed the story, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Got thoughts or memories about this moment? Drop them in the comments. And if you love football stories like this, make sure to subscribe for more.